Hi, welcome back to yet another web dev video. There's been some chatter going around in the Twitter tech community, or shall I say the X tech community, whether people should learn Git or not. So I thought, why not dive into it and show you some of the cool things that Git can do. Well, at least one cool thing that Git can do. Oftentimes, when you work on a project like this, which is not staged at all, we commit bugs. And I know your code is bug free, but maybe just watch this in case you have to fix someone else's bugs. And in this example, I'm going to show you how we can debug in which commit the bug was introduced and how to patch it up without anyone noticing. And for those who don't know, Git is a version control tool. And the way it works is it keeps a snapshot of all the files in the repository at certain times. Now those certain times are actually when we commit things, and that's when the snapshot is taken. So Git knows what are the files at that certain time. And that actually makes Git like a mini file system with some powerful tools built on top of it. I won't get too much into Git at this video. There's great documentation and a lot of articles online to learn what Git is and how it works. So I have a project here set up which is just simple, not very good looking shop application. We have list of products, you have a single product view, you can add to cart and whatever. And I've used Git to manage my code for this application. But first I want to say you can either use the CLI command for Git, which is basically like any other CLI command, or you can use a visual tool. VS Code has one inbuilt. There's a lot of other visual tools you can use for Git. I prefer the command line because that's just what I'm used to. But if you prefer visual interface, that's up to you. I'm not sure if you can do all of the things I'm going to show in this video with a visual interface, but you can do it with the command line anyways. So first one is the one that I use most is the Git status. This shows you which branch you are. If your local is synced to the remote, and if you have any changes to commit. Now I don't have any changes, looks like I'm out of sync with the remote, but that's not important for now. Let's say I want to change one of the prices for my product. So I have a product in array here. I want to change this price to $12.99. Now let's do a Git status again. And here we see we have one modified file, which then I can add this file so that Git knows it needs to be committed. And then I can commit this with a custom message that I decide what to be. And then we can push those changes to remote. Now let's do that. Git add dot means adding all the files in the current directory. I can go with source or data products as well. So let's do that. I usually like to see all the changes I'm doing, so I do a Git status very common. So now you can see this is green and it's added to be committed. Now you can restore it, and this brings it back to unstaged changes. Basically, unstaged changes are not going to be committed whenever you commit. Staged changes are going to be committed. That's basically the difference between the two. Let's add this again. Now we can commit, and -m means I'm going to provide a message. You don't have to. And again, you can use other tools other than the CLI command. But let's go with this. Let's say change price for product 1. There we go, that's been committed. And now if I do Git status, we're gonna see I don't have any other changes to commit, and now my local is 5 commits out of syncs than remote. Before it was 4, which means now I have one more commit on my local. We can do a git log, which is another command. You can see all the commits done here. These are some of the things I've done before. And I'm not gonna really go into how Git works, but you can see all the commits, you can see who made them. This is the commit hash, which is the unique ID of the commit, and the date when this was made. Another great command that I really like to use, and I think it's very useful, is called Git Rebase. So for example, if I notice there's been a bug on my code, if you can see here, all of these products have a different price, but when I look at the page, they all have the same price listed, which means there's some bug somewhere. Now the command I'm going to use here is called Git Rebase, and I'm going to pass a parameter called -e, which is interactive, And we can also tell this command to which commit I want to go back to. So I'm gonna do, I think I have 7 commits in this branch, but you can go as much as you want. These are all the commits I have, and I'm gonna start editing them one by one and see if my bug is introduced in any of these. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Git Rebase. There you can reword the commit message, you can edit, squash, fix up, and all the other things. But right now I'm just gonna focus on git edit, and what this will do, it will use the commit but stop for amending it, which means my code is gonna update at the time of this commit, and we can go commit by commit and see if the bug is introduced in one of those. Let's save this. This is Vim, by the way, so you have to know how to use Vim if you want to use the CLI. Again, you can use visual interfaces. I just chose to use this one. Right, so here I am. I can see this is not working, and I'm at commit prod drilling. Now we can use Git Rebase continue, which will go to the next commit, and when this breaks, I'll know I'm at the commit where this bug was introduced. Okay, still working. Go one more. Okay, I can see now this has been updated, and now it's broken. The commit time right now is change price, and I can see that this is basically what the bug is. I changed the price to a fixed price instead of using the product price. But I can also see the changes introduced in this commit by using git show. Perfect, now that makes sense. I've introduced a bug by adding a fixed number for the price instead of using the product price. Cool, so now that I'm at commit that I can fix this, we can either fix it here or we can introduce another commit. Usually if this is already pushed to production and is merged to the main branch, the best thing to do is just create a new branch, fix it, you have a merge request and all the stuff for the ways of working of your team. But if this is still on your local, you can fix it and then push, and nobody's gonna know you had a bug. Depends on the team you work on. Some people want good commits, which means they're gonna be granular, but actually just the stuff you're doing. Depends on how people review the code. Now what this will do, it's gonna change the commit that I'm currently at and introduce this change, kind of modify the commit, if you will. Okay, I have some messages here, which means that if I do this change, it's gonna be an empty commit because this is the only change to do here. I'm just gonna change this to pounds. Now if I see what the difference is, looks like it's just changed the price from $1 to £1, and I can see the bug is gone, still working, and it's showing pounds. Now if I continue, I don't really need to look at the other ones, just I found where my bug is, so I'm just gonna go through the rest of the commits. Perfect, now we are here, the bug is fixed, and there's no commit for the bug fix. And that is how you can use Git Rebase to go through your commits and figure out if you have a bug. You can do other stuff as well, like I said, depends on what your need is. But I think Git Rebase is a very complicated but a very useful tool. Now I think Git is a very powerful tool and every developer should learn it. It allows us to easily have multiple versions of our code which can be in different branches and switch between them very easily. It's very hard to actually remove stuff from Git. Everything is kept in a record and you can go back to any certain time. Now, of course, you can remove stuff and overwrite it with some commands, but essentially it's very hard to do that. Now, because Git provides multiple branches, this allows for people to easily collaborate on one project at the same time. Also, there's a lot of services online that you can use to host your Git repositories. Some of those are GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket, and so on and so on. Essentially, I think there's a lot of them, and every one of them basically does the same thing. It hosts your code and all the Git information and metadata to give you the history and merge requests and whatnot. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope it was easy to follow. If you have any feedback for me, put it down in the comments. I'll go through all the comments and all videos. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.